Wow, Disney really messed up with this film. Massive, massive oversight. How Tron Ares ran off the grid. Disney sci-fi movie set to lose $132 million and more. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Whenever I do these videos, like, this is more from just sheer disbelief. It's not really disbelief because I've done this a lot now, so I believe that they spend this much amount of money on things, but it's more just to document the insanity, I guess, than anything else. To be like, wow, they really did that. Wow, how dumb can you possibly be? And just have a record of how insane their decisions are. Because these are really, really dumb decisions. The reported budget for this was still quite, it was quite a high budget. That they were undershooting it. It was way over what they thought, or had been previously reported. Mental. All this because Jared Leto had some bizarre ego trip over the character Ares and had Tron Ascension rewritten for his benefit. Way! Good times, Disney. Good times. Anyway, let's take a look, shall we? Exclusive to Deadline, hence why we're on Deadline. There's more bleeding red neon than imagined coming out of Disney's Tron Ares. Deadline has learned from sources that the third chapter in the 43-year-old video game Matrix protagonist story actually cost $220 million net. It's marketing on top of that, by the way. $220 million. It didn't even look that good. Like, it didn't look that good. Now, did it like, overall it looked good. But did it look $220 million worth? No. They were barely in the grid. They were in the real world. And the objects that came into the real world did look good, right? Like, they did look good. But $220 million? Where did that go? Where did it go? That's mad. Bearing in mind, and this is one of the barometers I like to use, movie came out a couple years back now called The Creator, which had a lot of live action stuff interacting with CG. And it looked phenomenal. Now, whether you liked or disliked the film doesn't really matter. That's irrelevant. It looked phenomenal. And that was made for $80 million. So, 220? What are you doing? Just spaffing it up the wall. Mental. Now, the reported $170 million budget, or $180 million budget. Yeah, not true. Not true. Wow. This is mad. Absolute madness. This means that the Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Jeff Bridges light cycle movie is headed for a $132.7 million loss after all ancillaries. And that is if its final global gross smacks dead into a wall at $160 million, which I can't imagine it's going to do that much money. Like, I can't. The Joaquin Roning directed movie counted for its second weekend as of Sunday a running worldwide cume of $103 million with a 67% drop off. Bad times. At $160 million box office threshold, Tron Ares triggers $72.2 million in worldwide theatrical rentals, $37.6 million in global home entertainment, close to $100 million in global home television, with an extra $5 million from airlines for a total of $214.8 million in revenues. Now, I actually think this is a really interesting breakdown from Deadline, because they're beginning to reveal a lot of things which aren't normally considered, but they're considering it now and pulling the lid on stuff. So you and I didn't know that $5 million could come from airline rental, right? Like, I didn't know that. Did you know that? Probably not. Obviously, it still cost money. Like, we knew there was a sum, but they're guesstimating, or maybe they know that it's about $5 million. So that is actually genuinely quite interesting. It tells us a lot about the film industry and how they rack up now new secondary revenue streams. But yeah, still 5 million is not going to save it. And $214.8 million isn't good. Like, at all. And says, put this up against the $220 million net production cost shot with Vancouver BC tax credits, a $102.5 million global P&A spend. Fucking hell. Mate, that is bad. $300 million. Or thereabouts. I don't know what the tax credit was. But that's... Oh. With stunts at San Diego Comic-Con, touring light cycles, a laser light 9 Inch Nails laser light concert at the Los Angeles premiere that closed down Hollywood Boulevard, $10.8 million in other costs, and $14.2 million in residuals, which gets you to total cost of $347.5 million. That gets us to a $132.7 million loss. Well, it's more than that, though. Deadline is still undershooting it. It's way more than that. Dear Lord. Remember, movie theatres only take 50% of the gross. So the movie studios only take about 50% of the gross. Man, this is bad. Dear Lord. Basically, they're saying it's $132 million loss if you're only accounting the production budget. Effectively, they're not counting the marketing involved in it. One astute talent rep on why it was a game over for Tron Ares at this October's box office. There was no specific vision, to be honest. The idea that Disney would spend $250 million on a Jared Leto film that is a franchise that hasn't worked in 4 decades is insane. Why would you do this? Oh, it's mental. Well, we've told you the shortcomings with this Disney reboot swing and miss, i.e. the finite appeal of the Tron franchise. It bombed when it first came out in the 80s, gained cult status on home video, and had an okay revival in 2010, a year after the first Avatar, making $400 million. Limited draw of non-Star Wars and some non-Star Trek sci-fi movies overall. Basically saying anything over $50 million or even $100 million is far and few between. Ultimately, Tron's faulty battery was its screenplay. Yeah, it was terrible. This is actually terrible for Disney. This is so bad. So funny as well, though. What on earth were you doing? Why you thought this was a good idea? Anyway, whatever. Let me know what you think down below. This is mental. What they spend their money on, I don't care. But it is hilarious to take a look at it.